When you look in the mirror right after a workout, everything feels perfect. Your biceps are swollen, your chest looks fuller, and your arms feel like they're about to split your sleeves. The pump is real. But then you throw on a t-shirt, step back, and suddenly it feels like none of that work shows. Your arms look average. Your physique looks flat. It's frustrating, especially when you know how hard you've been training. Hear us the truth most people don't talk about. Big biceps and a solid chest don't automatically make you look strong in clothes. One muscle group has an outsized impact on how powerful you appear, even fully dressed, and that muscle group is your forearms. If your forearms are underdeveloped, it doesn't matter how good your biceps look shirtless. In a t-shirt, forearms are what people see first. Forearms are always visible. They stick out past your sleeves, they frame your hands, and they send an instant signal of strength. Thick forearms can make average arms look impressive, while weak forearms can make strong arms look underwhelming. That's why forearms are often called a visual cheat code for looking strong. Just like a thick neck, they give you that rugged, powerful appearance without needing perfect lighting or a pump. Another reason forearms matter so much is proportion. Even if your arms aren't massive yet, well-built forearms make them look thicker from top to bottom. They complete the arm. Without them, your arms taper down too quickly, given that all biceps, no base look. Strong forearms anchor your physique and make everything above them look bigger. Forearms are also one of the few muscle groups where veins tend to show up quickly. You don't need to be extremely lean or shredded for forearm vascularity to appear. Train them consistently, build some density, and veins often start popping early. That vascular look alone can make your arms look stronger and more athletic, even at higher body fat levels. Beyond aesthetics, forearms play a major role in performance. Every time you pull, row, curl, or deadlift, your forearms are involved. They are literally the connection point between your body and the weight. You can have a strong back and powerful arms, but if your grip gives out, the set ends early. That means less stimulus for your bigger muscles and slower progress overall. Think about how many times a set has ended not because your back or biceps were exhausted, but because your forearms were burning and the bar was slipping. This is extremely common. Weak forearms act like a bottleneck. Strength can't transfer fully if your grip can't keep up. When you strengthen your forearms, you unlock better performance in almost every pulling movement. Pull-ups, rows, deadlifts, lat pull-downs, and even heavy curls. There's also a health aspect that often gets ignored: elbow pain. Many lifters experience sharp or nagging pain around the elbow during curls, presses, or pulling movements. This pain is often blamed on overtraining or bad technique, but very often the real issue is weak or imbalanced forearm muscles. Your forearms are made up of muscles that flex the wrist and muscles that extend the wrist. If one group is much stronger than the other, the stress gets dumped into the elbow joint. Over time, this can lead to conditions commonly referred to as tennis elbow or golfer's elbow. One is associated more with weak extensors, the other with weak flexors, but both are equally annoying and can seriously limit training. The good news is that targeted forearm training can help restore balance. Strengthening both the flexors and extensors reduces stress on the elbow, improves joint stability, and often clears up pain over time. This doesn't require extreme weights or endless sets. Consistent, controlled work goes a long way. Now, before getting into how to train forearms, it's important to address genetics. Forearms, like calves, are heavily influenced by bone length and muscle insertions. Some people are born with long muscle bellies that fill out the forearm nicely. Others have shorter muscle bellies, which can make the forearm look less full, even when strong. This isn't fair, but it is reality. Genetics determine the shape and upper limit of how your forearms can look, but they do not determine whether they grow at all. Even if you weren't blessed with ideal insertions, you can still build stronger, more defined, and more vascular forearms. The visual result might be different, but the improvement will still be noticeable. Consistency matters far more than genetics for most people. One mistake many lifters make is treating the forearm as a single muscle. In reality, it's a complex group of muscles with different functions. Some of these muscles have high growth potential, while others are more endurance-based and don't grow dramatically in size. Understanding this is key to training forearms effectively. Many people rely almost entirely on wrist curls, expecting big growth. The problem is that the muscles responsible for wrist flexion don't have the greatest hypertrophy potential. That doesn't mean wrist curls are useless, but they shouldn't be the main focus if size is the goal. If you want forearms that actually look thick and powerful, the most important muscle is the brachioradialis. This muscle sits on the upper part of the forearm, close to the elbow, and plays a major role in elbow flexion when the grip is neutral or pronated. It has excellent growth potential and contributes heavily to that dense, meaty forearm look. To target the brachioradialis, grip position matters. Neutral grips and pronated grips are key. That's why hammer curls are such a strong choice. Whether you use dumbbells, cables, or machines, hammer curls shift emphasis away from the biceps and onto the brachioradialis. Done consistently, they can dramatically improve forearm thickness. Even more effective, and often overlooked, are reverse curls. Using a barbell, EZ bar, or dumbbells with a palms-down grip. Reverse curls hammer the brachioradialis while also strengthening the wrist extensors. This combination not only improves forearm size but also contributes to elbow health. Reverse curls don't allow massive weights, but they deliver a lot of value for a relatively low load. The next group of muscles to consider are the wrist flexors and extensors. These muscles control wrist movement and stability. While they don't add huge amounts of size, they are critical for joint health and overall function. Ignoring them is a common reason for chronic elbow discomfort. One of the most efficient tools for training these muscles is the wrist roller. It allows you to work both flexion and extension in a controlled, balanced way. Rolling the weight up with palms facing down emphasizes the extensors. Rolling it up with palms facing up targets the flexors. The key is control and proper positioning. Keep your elbows close to your body and slightly bent so the work stays on the forearms rather than shifting to the shoulders. Grip strength is the final major component of forearm training. Grip muscles are responsible for finger flexion and hand control. They don't add much visible size, but they significantly improve strength and performance. A strong grip enhances every lift that involves holding weight, which is most of them. Grip training can be simple. Hand grippers are an easy option and can be used in short sessions. Another effective method is using thick handles or fat grips on barbells and dumbbells. Increasing the diameter of the handle makes every rep more demanding for the grip and forearms, adding stimulus without changing the exercise itself. For those who want variety, rice bucket training is another option. Digging your hands into a bucket of rice and moving them through different patterns, squeezing, twisting, opening, and clawing challenges the forearms through a wide range of motions. It's unconventional, but effective for building durability and grip strength. To put everything together without overcomplicating things, forearm training can be added to existing workouts with minimal time investment. One simple setup is to start with 4 sets of hammer curls in the 10 to 20 rep range. This targets the brachioradialis and builds the foundation for size. Follow that with wrist roller work, 3 sets rolling up and 3 sets rolling down. Finish with grip training using grippers or another method of choice. A second option is to swap hammer curls for reverse curls while keeping the rest of the structure the same. Both approaches work well and can be alternated over time. Forearms recover quickly compared to many other muscle groups. Starting with 2 sessions per week is usually enough to adapt. Once recovery feels solid, frequency can be increased to 3 or even 4 times per week. As long as volume and intensity are controlled, forearms can handle it. The most important thing to remember is form. Forearm training doesn't require extreme weights or aggressive movements. Slow, controlled reps with full range of motion produce better results and reduce the risk of irritation. Chasing weight at the expense of technique often leads to wrist and elbow problems. With consistent training, forearms can transform how your physique looks and performs. They make your arms appear thicker, improve grip strength, support heavier lifts, and protect your elbows. Build them properly, and they'll steal the spotlight every time you roll up your sleeves.